So as promised in my previous video, like I stated, we were kind of rushed that day. The weather was not very accommodating. So as promised, we're going to do a continued review on the Taurus PT92. So they've been making this gun, like I said in the first video, for over 30 years. But they've modernized it, done a full stainless steel finish on it, also added a Picatinny rail. But I think we need to dive a little bit deeper, and that day we also only were able to shoot 115 grain 9mm ammo. So we've got some other ammo out here today too. So of course we have some 115 grain, but I also brought some Fiocchi 9mm 147 grain. That's 975 feet per second, so a little less than what you get out of the standard 115, which is pretty much what you see me shoot out here most of the time. And the only self-defense ammo that I shoot is Pilgrim Ammunition. We'll get into a deeper dive on that. I've done a full review on this ammunition as well. I can link that video in the description down below if you'd like to see it. And the reason I use it is because a lot of self-defense ammo companies claim to be SAMI spec with their Plus P ammunition, and that's not 100% true. There's been a lot of clinical tests with Plus P ammunition, and Pilgrim Ammunition has the data to back it up. So I'll also put a photo of the owner's manual for this pistol specifically in this video for you. It also shows other Taurus firearms that are rated for Plus P ammunition. Definitely want you to take a look at that, because I don't want you to have issues with other firearms, or you know, if you're shooting Plus P ammo, you know, to destroy your firearm or potentially hurt yourself. So we're gonna go ahead and get loaded up. We're gonna go over here to the stills targets and we'll dive into it. Alright, so starting out, we are going to start with what we had in the original video. You're going to hear me do a lot of comparisons to that one. So if you want to watch the part 1 video, if you're just seeing this one, or if you're from the part 1 video coming to see this one, you'll hear a lot of things back and forth. So forgive me for that. So we are starting out with 115 grain. We're just going to ease back into it. So a couple things to reference from the previous video is that we had some ejection inconsistencies, if you will. So what would happen is we would shoot and a round would eject this way, upwards, that way. Some of them even landed on the bill of my hat. So now that we've put some rounds through it in the previous video, I think it's kind of ironed out whatever this firearm's going to do. So let's just go ahead and go through this first mag. It does have single and double action. So if you want to carry it cocked and locked, you can hit the decocker, which is the same switch as the safety if you go in the upward position. So you can carry it that way if it makes you feel more safe. So we're going to go double action and just go through the first mag. So even before I move right now, you're going to see firearms unsafe, but there is a shell on my arm. So it's still ejecting inconsistently. Not that that's an issue, I just find it kind of odd. The way that these pistols are designed, it's supposed to eject to the right, not straight up or really in any other direction other than that. So like I said, it's still doing that. So we're just going to finish off this mag, and I apologize, we're in single action, not double. Alright, and there we go. Slide lock to the rear, magazine's empty. So, still feels just the same, of course, even though we've put some additional ammunition through it. Still feels really good. Is it a Beretta? No. But I think for the price point, if you're trying to get into this kind of model type firearm, it's definitely a good start. So let's go get loaded up with some of the other ammunition we brought out and keep going. All right, so we switched sides just to give you a different camera angle, but Now we're going with 147 grain. So this is under 1,000 feet per second. So I want to see, as you saw in the first shots, I missed this first one here. So I want to see if the heavier bullet assists with that in any way, shape, or form. Again, it's Fiocchi 147 grain. I'm shooting lower, so I'm going to take 2 steps forward. Okay. Shouldn't shoot at a swinging target, by the way. Obviously, it doesn't matter. Kind of interesting. So, like I said, majority of the time when you see me out here, I'm shooting 115 grain. So, I don't know if I'm feeling more or less recoil. Like, it doesn't feel very different. But I know it's probably hard to see from that angle, but from where I'm standing, I feel like I keep shooting right underneath the 8-inch targets. Of course, the large silhouettes, those are easier to hit because it's larger. But for an 8-inch target, it really shouldn't be that's significant. I did a couple shots where I was aiming at the top of the 8-inch target and it's hitting fairly well. Aiming at the middle, going underneath, aiming low and having a little bit tighter grip, missed completely. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do our Pilgrim Ammunition. The 50 grain bullet, but like I said, it travels over 2,000 feet per second, but at the same time has 30% less recoil. So let's see the difference there. All right, so we've got our Pilgrim Ammunition loaded up. I've only got about 7 rounds in here. It is fairly expensive, but like I said, it is a premium self-defense round. So we're gonna load up and see if maybe it's just a recoil type issue that we're receiving from the firearm. So I'll start on the left, middle, right, and then whatever we have left, we'll take back to the middle. Okay, so still had 2 misses on that, but it definitely feels a lot better than the 115 grain and the 147, that's for sure. I definitely feel like the firearm didn't rise as much off the muzzle. That's why I carry this stuff, because it's one factor you don't have to worry about during self-defense is that, you know, you're responsible for where that bullet goes, but taking out 30% of that recoil helps mitigate that, especially with your adrenaline pumping and things like that. So in retrospect, I really don't know how I feel about this firearm. So typically when you see my videos, it's like, yes, this is what you want. This is what you want to get. I can't say this about this one. I mean, for the price point, I think you're getting a nice firearm. As far as quality and things like that, I'm not necessarily torn there either. It's just you can't get a gun that doesn't shoot straight or has so much inconsistency. So I'm not going to say it's necessarily a dud. It's not a dud for sure, but at the same time, it's not definitely the top of the pick that I would get. So if you're debating on saving money and going with the Taurus option, just realize what you're getting. Okay, you're definitely going to have to put in some extra range time. You do have a rear dovetailed sight, so you might have to make some adjustments. Mine shoots fairly straight from between 10 to 25 yards. That's where all of these shots today have been. But like I said, I'm just not sold, because I know if I went out and spent the extra money and bought a Beretta, we wouldn't be having this conversation about, you know, questionable things at this time. So again, if you're interested in this, you can go back to the part 1 video where we initially did some shots with this. You see a lot of similar things that you've seen in this video. So we've put now roughly 250 rounds probably between both videos, and still seeing a lot of the same, not necessarily issues, but inconsistencies, like with the ejection, as far as where the firearm is hitting itself. But at the same time, something to take into consideration. You know, if you're using this firearm for self-defense, you're not going to be shooting an 8-inch target. You will be shooting a full silhouette. We didn't have any issues hitting that. Now, where that hits in the silhouette, that's a little different. So, again, you're going to need to put in some extra range time if you want to go for this option. Comes in around 500 bucks. So, like I said, not a bad deal. Looks nice, but just maybe some quality issues overall. So that's my honest opinion. I think this is probably the first review I've ever done where I'm just like, I'm usually pretty confident in anything that I bring to the channel, but this one has definitely raised some questions. So as always, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hit that subscribe button. I'm actually going to have my link tree in the description down below. The way that YouTube has things set up, I can't actually give you direct links to where I purchase a lot of things you see on my channel. So go to my link tree. It also has my other social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter, now known as X. I share a lot of new products that are coming to the market, so you get to see it there first. On Instagram, you'll see things that I've purchased, and that will be either soon reviewed, or if it's already there, then it's been reviewed, things like that. So follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter, and of course enjoy those affiliate links that you can also get to from my link tree. As always, stay safe, get out to the range and knock out some rounds, and I'll see you next time.